Operator, I want to call Manila Collect. Or reverse charge if you're watching in black and white. Thank you. 00583. Yes, thank you. Marcos. Marcos, yes. President-elect of Hawaii. Rooms 43 to 791. Raphael, hello. Ferdy here. Sorry I didn't have a chance to say goodbye, but Imelda and I really needed a holiday. She's out surfing at the moment, yes. Yes, beautiful weather. Look, Raphael, we're all right for cash for the next couple of weeks, but in the excitement, Imelda left a few things behind. Yes. So if you could have a look in the pink vault. Yes. Next to the porno videos, yes. There should be 4,000 see-through baby doll nighties. No, baby doll, not baby doc. Yes, and 8 billion pink-lined satin fluffy slippers. And a Bible. Yes, revised version. Heavily revised by yours truly. Oh, that's very kind of you, Raphael. Yes, I think it moves along a lot better than the original. So if you could get the Air Force to pop into the palace and pick them up, I'd be most grateful. Oh, and you could lift the state of emergency. It's been lifted? Oh, well, impose one. Whatever you want. Oh, what is it?
Mr. President!
Sorry.
As you instructed,
yes.
I went to the restaurant, but they tell me they have no king prawns. Shall I annihilate them?
No, no bloodshed. Do they have any Polynesian crab?
Mr. President!
Yes, it's general there.
They say they have only menu A, B, or C. But I think they are trying to hide something from me. Will I strafe the building?
It's only a takeaway. There's no need to involve the armed forces. Sorry, Raphael. Oh, there. Is there anything you want from Manila?
Mr. President,
yes.
Without my ground-to-air guided missiles, I feel naked in the street, like a pitiful giant.
Yes, I like a pitiful giant. Oh, I see what you mean, yes. Raphael, there has just reminded me. Along with the 90s, do you think you could find room for some missiles?
Yeah.
Yes, it'll be quicker than asking Reagan. Poor thing is completely senile. 24 hours a day, he's attached to this ghastly machine called Nancy. Yes, that's all I can think of at the moment, Raphael. I'm not sure about return dates. Imelda may be doing this soap. We're huddling with Aaron Spelling tomorrow.
Mr. President!
Yes, what is
this Aaron, Mr. Dynasty Spelling, I don't like him. I killed him!
No. There, as usual, is taking a very tough negotiating stance. Raphael, I must go. I hope to see you soon, but I'm expecting a group.
Oh, they are communists.
No, there. They are the communards.
All the same, I exterminate them.
Let them finish the number, for goodness sake.
Okay.
Communards.
Okay.
Dream. Good evening, and welcome to the final frame of Pot Snooker with the Oblivion Boys battling it out for the championship. Quiet, please. Kettle on.
Quiet.
Oh, no.
Yes, yes.
No, no, no.
Oh, yes.
Let's go. Thank you. You got time?
Yeah, cool.
Right. Disqualified.
Well, I don't know. All right. I'm sorry. Sorry. I said I'm sorry, didn't I? I said I'm sorry. What do you want?
Steve Davis, 78. No.
Oh, hey.
No.
Exit.
No. Make Marion first! Make Marion first!
So straight enough, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Let's get out of here. Ain't quiet, mate. Ain't quiet.
No. Hey. Sorry, come on. Go on. 2, 6 foot, steady. Come on, move. Steady, move, down. There you go. Hey.
Hi, Ferdy here. Being Andrew's new lady, people don't know much about me yet, but I come from a little country village called Dummer. Actually, Mark Phillips comes from the village up the road. Dumber still. In fact, Daddy's just bought an estate nearby. It's called Hampshire. Do you like my ring? It's stunning, isn't it? It's got a red ruby to match Princess Margaret's eyes. Gosh, I'm so looking forward to the big day. The procession, the new frock, lovely food. Actually, the cake's going to have a small but perfectly formed little figurine standing on top of it. Lord Snowdon. Charles will be there standing around like a spare prince at a wedding. Of course, afterwards, we're both going to carry on working. I mean, it'd be silly for Andrew to give up his job, especially when you've learned to handle a chopper as well as he has. Well, you know, the real reason that I really like Andrew is not that he's got charm and he's got wit in equal proportions. He's half charm and half wit. But poor Andrew's been through a lot recently. I can't remember all their names. But I think I'll have to keep an eye out for those old girlfriends. I think it's what they call in the Navy the dog watch. Of course, he'll have to change the name of his ship from HMS Brazen because that was named after Coup. I wanted him to name it after me. HMS, how about a quickie before the detective arrives? Well, naturally, I am worried about the publicity because I do think the press go a bit far sometimes. I mean, they're offering money to everyone I know for their inside stories. My teddy bear's just been signed up by the News of the World. But as editor? Anyway, ciao for now.
Lord Stockton.
Hello, Fat. You on?
Yes,
Good.
Lord Stockton, it's very good to see you here.
Wonderful.
Lord Stockton, as the Conservative Party prepares for the Fulham by-election, what do you think...
It's remarkable, this chair, isn't it?
Very remarkable.
You can't control the bloody thing.
No.
Part of the space shuttle, I suppose. Sorry. Conservative Party.
Yes, as they prepare for the Fulham by-election, what do you think their priorities should be?
Well, as I look around this great country of ours, I really have to weep. Big girls don't cry. That's what it says in the Bible.
Yes.
But I'm not ashamed. I see round me 4 million people unemployed. Millions of others out of work. And what does that ghastly woman do? Bugger all.
So you blame Mrs. Thatcher?
Hold on a moment. Don't start putting words into my mouth. When I said that ghastly woman, I don't call her ghastly just because she's a woman.
Yeah.
And I don't call her a woman just because she's ghastly. But she is a woman, and she is ghastly. So I call her that ghastly woman.
Ghastly woman, yes.
Mind you, she has many qualities. In some ways, she reminds me of Winston Churchill. Slimmer, of course.
Yes. You mention her qualities. What qualities do you admire in Mrs. Thatcher?
What?
What qualities do you admire?
Mrs. Thatcher? Well, I suppose if I had to single out a single quality, I'd have to plump
for her hair.
Her hair. Yes.
He has outstanding hair, which has moved with the times. But the trouble is, the rest of her has remained completely static.
Yes.
But Jack Kennedy had wonderful hair.
Did he?
President Kennedy, wonderful hair, yes. I remember once sitting with him in the Oval Office. This was before he was assassinated.
I see.
And he leaned over to me and said, Prime Minister, who cuts your hair? So I told him, and of course a year later, he was dead.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
It was Martin Luther King. He had wonderful hair.
yes.
Different, of course. It was more wiry. I remember sitting with Dr. King, with his lovely wife, Billie Jean. And didn't hear a word he said. I was transfixed by his hair.
Yes,
Lovely
that's
hair.
right. Yes.
Oh, awful bang went on there.
Yes, that's right.
Was somebody trying to assassinate me?
No, I don't. I secure it.
Oh,
Well, Stockton,
yeah.
tell me,
Yes.
if you can bear to, do you see yourself as the voice of moderation, Lord Stockton?
Well, for many years, and in countless publications, all of which, incidentally, have been published by Macmillan and are still in print.
Very good.
I've advocated moderation.
Yes.
But in moderation, you have to draw the line somewhere. I mean, take South Africa. Nobody could abhor, it's a tricky word to say, isn't it? Abhor the system of apartheid more than myself, except perhaps the blacks who live in South Africa. But what do you do about it? I remember my wife, God bless her, she refused to have any South African produce in the house. And one day, a footman inadvertently brought in some outspanned orange segments in a tin. Dorothy, God bless her, seized the can from him, threw it out the window. Unfortunately, landed on a passing African and killed him.
Killed him.
Killed more hair, but completely dead, yes. Yes.
Lord Stockton, you are now in the autumn of your years.
Nearly dead, yes.
Nearly dead, in fact. What brings you most pleasure now?
Well, I think the thing that gives me the greatest single pleasure is being an absolute bloody nuisance. It's such fun. I take that Sunday trading business. I'm completely for it. But when Earl Attlee, the drug addict, when he whispered to me that one vote would kill the whole thing off and the whole bloody caboodle would have to go back to those ghastly estate agents in the House of Commons, of course, no, I said. Oh, great fun.
Great fun. And finally, Lord Stockton, if I may ask, do you have any further ambitions in your life?
Well, I've had a very full life.
You have.
Yes, I've fought in 2 world wars, I've governed the country, and been on desert island discs. Roy Plumley, wonderful man, completely bald.
Yes.
And of course, dead.
Dead, yes.
But I regard the House of Lords as a stepping stone to Vegas.
Is that Las Vegas?
Las Vegas, yes. I don't see myself carrying the whole show. On the other hand, I'm not going to open for Tony Bennett.
No. Well...
Terry Como is an idea.
Yes.
Over there, I think I can see out of the corner of my eye a huge, great blonde tart from America. A lovely head of hair, and indeed has the whole group. Twisted Sister.
Is he really going out with her? There he is.
Hey, man, is that your ring she's wearing?
Man, it must be great riding with her. Are you picking her up after school today? By the way, where'd you meet her?
I met her at the candy store. She turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture?
Yeah, we see.
That's what she fell for.
The leader of the pack.
Her clothes were always pulling me down, down, down.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello again.
Yes.
Hello again and again and again. Fancy you being here.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, the chances of you and me both being here at exactly the same time must be about 8 billion to 1.
Yes.
Yes, I reckon this was meant to happen. I think this was doomed to occur. It's all written down in the great book of fate, in horrible pink squidgy writing. I was meant to be here, you were meant to be here, and here you are.
Yes, here we are.
Here we are, as you so rightly point out. Well, now you're here, what are you going to do about it?
Nothing. I just like to read the newspaper.
Oh, you just like to sit and read the newspaper?
Yes.
Is there anything interesting in it?
I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, well, you wouldn't know if there's anything interesting in it, would you? If you haven't even read it yet, you wouldn't have a clue what's in it, interesting or not. I read quite an interesting thing in a newspaper a few days ago. Apparently, Anita Ekberg has set up this hamburger stand in Rome. That's quite interesting, isn't it?
Not really.
I found it very interesting indeed, thank you very much. I mean, one moment she's up on the silver screen 50 yards wide. The next moment she's peddling Big Macs on the Via Veneto. Are you an Ekberg fan?
No.
No, you're not an Ekberg fan. You're more of the type to enjoy Audrey Hepburn.
Yes, I do like Audrey Hepburn.
Of course you do. You're the type, I can tell it in your eyes, who goes for elfin beauties. I prefer huge, mountainous women who wobble when they breathe. That's what I go for.
Well, I don't.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? We won't start bickering about our women folk. You can have the thin, elfin ones, and I'll go for the huge, mountainous, wobbly ones.
It's a deal.
Yes, it is a deal. What about Shelley Winters?
What about Shelley Winters?
Well, is she mine or yours? I mean, she's a bit too slim for me, but she's probably a bit too plump for you. We could toss for her.
You can have her.
That's very kind of you indeed. Of course, Liz Taylor is going to be a bit of a dilemma, isn't she? She's very up and down. One moment she's elfin, the next second she's ballooned up to 103 stone. But she's elfin at the moment, so you can have Liz.
All right.
Thank you.
I've got Liz and
Yes.
Audrey, you've got Shelley and Anita, OK?
Perfectly
Now,
all right.
I'd just like to read my newspaper.
Of course you would. Of course, Shelley looked enormous in the Poseidon adventure when she was all underwater with the clothes billowing around her. I think what would be fair would be if I had Shelley underwater and you took care of her on dry land.
Very well.
Am I boring you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you are.
I thought I was. I'm very perceptive that way, you know. It's almost a psychic gift. I've got this uncanny knack of knowing what's going to happen.
Then I dare say you know what's in the offing.
Oh, yes, I just have to shut my eyes and I'll be able to see it all. Furly newspaper with a tetchy look on his face. He begins to beat man relentlessly about the head. I didn't foresee it being quite as hard as that. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Well, thank you very much for the paper. Give my love to Audrey. Let's see. Good grief. Awful man in Macken Trilby sought by Swedish police. I didn't see that coming.
Live this week on my television And I was absolutely disgusted to see that there was no very nice, handsome, sexy woo-woo kebab owners on the prog. Just because I couldn't even be bothered to turn up, innit? What the bloody hell is going on, Channel 4, please? And another thing about this Saturday Live prog that makes me want to throw up is all the bad language. And also this mindless violence of the so-called dangerous brothers. All the times they kick each other in the gentlemen's, chop, slice each other's bits off. What is so funny about this, innit? Come on, Channel 4. Let us have a bit more good, clean fun. Benny Hill looking up schoolgirls' knickers, please. And another thing that makes my blood boils is this program Right to Replies with the video box. Where is all these ugly people's appear on it coming from? Last week I watched the programs while I was having my dinners, when suddenly this old man appeared to complain right in the middle of my bacon, egg, chips, beans, 2 slice. And he was so ugly that I just puke up all over my kids. But my kiddies don't like this, so what they do is just chainsaw off my legs, like how come they see the dangerous brothers do. And I think this is not so good, because I'm supposed to do the charity fun runs Bob Geldof thing. But how can I now with just a couple of stumpies, innit? Think about it, Channel 4.
and gentlemen, a comedian has brought me a great deal of pleasure whenever I've been in the United States. I'd like you to welcome, over from America, Mr. Louis Anderson.
Very nice to be here. I'm so happy. Listen, I can't stay long in between meals, so bear with me. Let me move this so you can see me. I love London. Everything in pounds. It's great. I live in California now, the worst place in the world for a fat person. There's only 3 of us. They have us on 8-hour shifts, though, so... I tried to get into the California living. I was at the beach. Every time I'd lay down, people would push me back into the water. Hurry up, he's dying. I was harpooned 6 times. I did get into that body surfing, though. Have you tried that? Oh, yeah, I get 10 or 12 people on here. And the bums down at the beach, always coming up to me. Hey, buddy, could you help me out with the sandwich? Well, sure, where is it? I mean, recognizing what brought me to California were the Olympics. I don't know if you... Hula hoop contest. Still on. Tried every event. Tried the pole vault. Drove that sucker right in the ground. I did a good thing, though. I straightened out those uneven parallel bars. Sorry, I'm sweating, but if I don't, I'll explode. My favorite thing is when you go over to someone's house and you're fat. They go, oh, come on in, Louis, and sit down here on this concrete sofa. Or the reinforced steel garden furniture. Do what I do, head right for that wicker. I'm on a new diet now, though. I'm on Weight Watchers. But you know that 5 fish, 3 beef, and a liver? I didn't know that was a weekly deal. I gained 90 pounds the first week. Yeah, I'm always afraid that someday I'm going to wake up and food will be illegal for fat people. They'll take me to a fat people's prison. Bars 3 feet apart. Walls knee-high. Imagine trying to start a riot with a little cup. Clang! Clang! Well, let's face it, if I didn't do these fat jokes, you guys would sit out there and go, do you think he knows he's that big? Like I woke up one morning, oh no. I'm from Minnesota there. I had a very strict upbringing. Maybe some of you had a strict father, like my kind of guy who didn't like people. We'd be in the car driving down the street. My dad would spot somebody walking down the street that was a little different. Oh, he'd slow that car down. Look at that. For crying out loud. Get my rifle. Or he would say things that made no sense. He'd be driving. You know, if I was the last person on Earth, some moron would turn left in front of me. And when he'd say that, too, you'd always turn to your brother and go, wish he was, don't you? My dad, I heard that. You kids want to walk home from here? Well, yeah, we're in the garage. Don't get smart with me. When your parents would say that, don't get smart with me, weren't you always tempted to go, oh. How's this, Dad? Am I acting stupid enough for you? And then they would threaten you. I'll drive you 10 damn miles and drop you off. Don't forget, that's how far I had to walk to school every day. And your brother would chime in, and you didn't have any shoes either, did you, Dad? That's right. When I was a kid, they didn't even have children. I don't want to give you the wrong impression of my dad, though. He never hit us. Carried a gun. He never shot us. He'd go, very effective, huh? I loved hassling my dad. I had a younger brother. If you have a younger brother or sister, you know what I mean, because you never had to hit them. You just get up in the morning, go down to breakfast, look across the table, do this. You do that, you'll hear this every time. Mom, Louie's looking at me again. And you love that. Oh, is it against the law to look at people? Look at Mom, does this bother you? You keep it up. You keep it up, all of a sudden. Jesus, he home again today? I want to thank you for making me feel very much at home.
This one is dedicated to all the headbangers in Great Britain. See if you remember this one. I am who are you to look down at what I believe? I'm on to your thinking and how you deceive. Well, you can't abuse me. I won't stand no more. Yes, I know the reason. Yes, I know the score. I am and I'll be. I will. You'll see. I am and I'll be. I am. I'll be. How I tried to please you, live the way you said, do the things that you do, like the living dead. Then the truth, it hit me, knocked me off my knees. It's my life I'm living, I'll live as I please. I am and I'll be. I will, you'll see. I am and I'll be. I am, I'll be. Come on, boys, let's go. Now's the time to stand up, start your life anew. Freedom lies in your heart. Now's the time for you. I am and I'll be. I will, you'll see. I am and I'll be. I am, I'll be.
Yeah, I'll have another coffee if anyone's going. What? They're over the advert. Are we on air now? Are we on air? Listen, I know I'm the producer, but someone is supposed to tell me these things, not just sit around fiddling with their knobs and cluttering up my console with all this rubbish. I'm sorry, but I have only had these 2 pizzas. The rest of the rubbish is somebody else's. We're on air, studio. We are now on air, studio. Can we find Mrs. Posner on the floor, please? Is Mrs. Posner on the floor? Mrs. Posner? Mrs. Posner, we're looking for Mrs. Posner. Studio.
Well, you're absolutely right.
I know. I mean,
Studio.
the wonderful thing about live television is the adrenaline and the razor-sharp reactions you've got to have.
Studio floor, Mrs. Posner, Mrs. Posner.
It's Mrs.
We're looking for
Jackson.
Mrs. Posner.
Mrs. Jackson, absolutely.
Yes?
We're coming out of the adverts, everybody. Studio.
We're out of the advert now, Mrs. Posner. We're on air. We're on air. No, we're on air now, Mrs. Posner. We're on air, Mrs. Posner.
Hello, Mrs. Jackson.
We're on air now, Mrs.
We're
Posner.
on air, Mrs.
Yes,
Jackson.
I'm looking,
on air.
I'm looking for the act now. I'm looking for the act. Have you
Yes,
got raw sex, the combo?
Yes, I certainly have, yes.
That's what we call the caption, isn't it, Mrs. Posner?
Yeah,
That's what we call... I'm looking for the act now. Can you find the act?
No.
Oh, we're on air. Can you not look into camera, please? Please, we're on air. Don't look into camera now, please. Don't look into camera. I will distract the audience at home with some clever video effects. If you can find the act, Mrs. Posner.
Roger, Mrs. Jackson. Mrs. J.
Yep.
Suggest you distract them at home with some clever video effects or
Yes,
something.
we have that. We have that in the gallery.
Right,
All right. And
right.
cue video effects.
Right.
Mrs. Posner. Mrs. Posner.
Yes, hello,
Move it, Mrs.
Jackson.
Posner. Move it, please. No, get that bottom, please. Around that studio.
I'm sorry.
Find the act, please, Mrs.
Right,
Posner.
I'll find out. Excuse me. I wonder when the helicopter will land, and I'll find some more clues.
We're wondering in the gallery what you're doing now, Mrs. Posner.
It's just my Anika Rice.
Can you find the act, please?
Yes, I've located it. I've located it.
Count them.
Yes.
There should be 2 of them there.
There should be 2?
Yes, there should be 2 of them there. We paid for 2.
We paid for 2. Raw sex. What are you?
Oh dear, Mrs. Jackson, I think we're going to have some trouble. I've got raw here.
Right, so we're looking for sex. We're looking for sex. Can you locate sex?
Yep.
Okay, I have sex on camera 4. I have him on a completely different stage now.
Oh.
I wonder how that happened, Mrs. Posner. He's on a completely different stage
I have no
there.
idea. That's not my department. Sorry, Mrs.
We will deal with
Terrible.
it up here in the gallery,
Yes,
all
yes,
right?
right.
We're going to deal with this with a clever technical split screen effect.
Right.
All right,
Brilliant.
so if you can just count them in there.
Mrs. J, suggest
Yep.
you deal with it with a sort of spilt screen or something like
Yes,
that.
we have that in yes.
Brilliant, that there in the gallery.
Count them in, please, then no one will know they're not
Count
on the
them
same
in.
stage.
Count them in.
Mm-hmm.
Problem on the studio floor here.
Yes.
Major alert.
Yes.
As you can probably see, geographically, I can't simultaneously count them in from this particular
We will be
position.
coping with it up here.
Oh,
If
you
can
will.
Just out of shot now, please, Mrs. P.
I beg your pardon?
Out of shot now,
Out of
Mrs.
shot.
P. Yes, we'll... And cue music, please. Cue music. Jane, move your coffee cup and bring in the split screen, please. Cue music. Oh, no, you've ruined it now, haven't you, Mrs. Posner?
Well, I haven't.
Please don't go across to the other side, because people won't believe it, will they? Please don't. Oh, no, you've done it, haven't you?
I have to.
Out of shot, then. Out of shot. Now, is this all they do in their act?
I'm not quite sure. I think they do some singing or
Right,
something.
out
I'm
of shot now.
I think it comes
Yes.
to...
The silly bitch is still in the corner of shot there.
Musical impersonator. He's now going to do George Formby.
He's using a ukulele. Are you picking that
We're
up?
picking that up in the gallery,
It's a wonderful
Mrs. P. Out of
opportunity
shot,
to look
please.
closer, up in the gallery.
Out of shot.
Sorry?
Out of shot.
Yes, there's Larry Adler.
Silly cow.
And the accordion of Charles Aznavour. Where's the accordion?
No. The conga player's got the accordion, I
Yes,
think.
please don't cross into the other side of shot now again. Please don't do that, Mrs. P.
No,
Please don't cross
forgive me, I've got to. It's too late, it's too late.
Get out of shot now, please, Mrs. P. Out of shot now, Mrs. P. Out of shot now. I don't know if you can see a monitor there, can you, Mrs. P? I don't know if you can see him. Is that you in the back of shot there on the right of screen? Is that you in red there at the back of shot, the right of screen there? Is that you, that huge big thing there? Oh no, it's the inflatable elephant. Still, it's a very easy mistake, isn't it? You're a very hefty bottom wandering around that studio floor, isn't it, Mrs. P?
Right, I seem to have gone completely deaf in the cans, actually,
Hello, Mrs.
Mrs.
P.
J. I think I'll wind them up. And stop!
No, they haven't finished yet.
Yes.
Hello? Studio, they haven't finished
Right,
yet.
hello, Mrs. Jackson. I think you can deal with it up in the galley, can't you now, with some special
they haven't
video
actually-
effect or something you've got up there?
They haven't actually
got plenty
finished.
up your sleeve. You've certainly got some strange things in your pants, that's for sure.
They haven't actually...
I told her.
Can I have
That's
camera
all
4,
then.
please? Camera 4.
Didn't know what she was
please.
doing then.
Forward, please,
She's
camera
completely
4.
lost
Forward
it
a bit
there,
faster.
camera.
Bit faster. Forward,
Don't move camera 4, because
Forward,
otherwise...
camera 4.
Don't move camera 4!
And now, studio, cut to Peter Cook, please.
Over there.
to Peter Cook. Over to Peter
It's
Cook,
over
please.
there.
Oh, blimey, yeah, I'm back here. Oh, traffic was terrible. Took me about 3 hours to get out of downtown Xanadu.
Oh, terrible.
Dreadful in Xanadu today.
How'd it go with Kubla?
Or Kubla Khan, as he likes to call himself these days. Toffee nose git. Yeah, well, it went all right, you know.
Got the job then?
Yeah, he got the job,
good,
yeah.
big one.
Yeah, fairly big. He's got very grandiose in his old age, Kubla has, yeah.
What does he want, extension?
No, more than that. He wants a pleasure dome.
Oh, nice. What sort of pleasure dome do you have in mind?
Well, he was a bit vague about it, you know. He rambled on a bit, and the only adjective I got from him was sort of stately. In fact, that's what he decreed.
Oh, he's decreeing things now then, is
Certainly,
he?
no pissing about with planning permission for Kubla. If he wants a stately pleasure dome, well, look, he decrees it.
Yeah, well, why not? Well,
why not at his age?
Do a bunging estimate then?
No, it's a bit tricky, you see.
Well, what's the problem? Pleasure dome's straightforward enough. Don't know about stately, though. What's his stately? That's new to me. What's that, plants, hammocks?
No.
It's not structural, is it?
No, it's not structural, stately. It's more of an ambient sort of area.
Well, then we'll just budget for a regular pleasure dome, see if we can pick up a few stately trimmings down the market.
Yeah, well, it's not the stately bit that bothers me.
Oh, what's a snag, Alf?
That's a snag, Alf.
Alf's a snag?
Alf is a snag, yeah.
But you're Alf.
Yeah, but I'm not a sacred river, am I?
No, of course you're not. I never suggested.
This is my point, you see. Part of his decree vis-à-vis the stately pleasure dome is he has this bloody stately sacred river Alf running through the structure.
A sacred river running
right through the structure. He specified that.
We'll need a plumber then.
Yeah.
I can have Ronnie, you know, sort of bodge up a river for us,
Yeah, I
and then
suppose that's the plan,
and we
isn't
can
it?
bung up a sign saying, you know, the Sacred River of Alf, something on those
Sacred
lines.
River of Alf, yeah. We've still got a problem with
that?
the specifications.
What's that then?
These caverns he wants.
Well, caverns are a doddle. How big's he want them?
Well, this is the big crunch that we come to.
No, he don't want another river, does he? He don't want a Sacred River crunch as well,
No,
does
he don't want a Sacred River crunch, but with these caverns, you see, he is specified here on the docket there.
Yeah.
Measureless to man.
Measure them? He wants caverns you can't measure?
Yeah.
But how's he know they'll fit? I mean, he knows caverns come by the yard, doesn't he?
I told him, I said, Kubla, for goodness sake. Caverns come by the yard. You can't have caverns measureless to man. I mean, where the bloody hell are you going to go next? Where's this bloody river going to go?
Exactly.
Down to a sea that is measureless to man? With lots of boats bobbing about that are measureless to man?
Yeah,
No,
jellyfish measureless to man.
Jellyfish
all that.
measureless to man, no.
Where do you want it then?
He wants it to exit in a sunless sea.
Margate.
Yeah. That would do, yeah.
Well, all right, then. So leaving aside the caverns for the moment, what we have to provide is your standard pleasure dome.
With stately trappings.
Stately trappings about
Stately
it. And I'll speak to Ronnie about the river aspect of the job. That's Sacred River exiting Margate.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with the measureless to man bit when we get to it, that's all.
Yeah, I think that's what we should do. When I'm next in Xanadu, I'll tell him we're on.
Right, as soon as we finish with the pyramid job.
How is the pyramid job going?
Well, I don't know. I tried to stick to the, you know, specifications you gave me, but really, you know, from a design point of view, I still think it'd be better, make more sense to have the pointy bit at the top.
Yeah, well, the drawing is very clear, you see.
It like that, you see.
Because otherwise you'll get the trees upside down.
Oh, that's
and that lady with the frown will be completely lost.
As far as love lets us stray, we shall dance forever and a day, be together for eternity. We won't bloom in a spring affair, steal a kiss beneath the golden moon. run hand in hand without a care, flourish in the summer sun.
Gordon English as I live and breathe.
Stuart, good to see you.
You crazy hellfire turbocharged son of a roasted oyster, you.
You living heap of fuel-injected mid-engine madness. How the goddamn hell do you goddamn find your goddamn self?
Oh, pretty good, Gordon. Now tell me, what in the name of all that's crazy are you doing here?
Well, I'm flying out to Tokyo.
Good God. Same here.
Oh. I've just been reading up on Tokyo nightlife.
Oh, you don't want to bother with all that stuff. No, if it's nightlife you're after, you come to old Stuart.
Oh, well, appreciated, Stu, but I think I'll stick with a prostitute. You know where you are.
Right, tell me, you old basket, we kind of lost touch since old John Dowling bunged me up the ladder.
Yeah, what have you been doing these days?
Well, right now, John's got me heading up the Denmark operation.
Really? I didn't know we had a Denmark operation.
No, it's kind of need to know, Gordon. I probably shouldn't have told you. But what about you? How's John Dowling treating you these days? Last I heard he had you out Mexico way, peddling, what was it, kiddies' toys or something?
Bicycles.
Peddling bicycles, uh-huh.
John Dowling's not so bad when you get to know him, you know.
Oh, listen, Gordon, I should say at this point that no one has a greater respect for John Dowling than I do. I mean, you know, he's one of the best.
Oh, he's the very best, no doubt.
One of the very best, yeah.
Yeah, he stands alone. No one can touch him.
Yeah, well, I feel that John and I are very alike in that respect. You know, so, go on, this your first time on the Tokyo run?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, funny creatures, the Nips.
Yes.
Ruthless, viciously competitive, and totally obsessed by profits. But they've got drawbacks too, you know. Oh, yes, there's only one thing your average Japanese understands.
What's that?
Japanese.
So how are you getting on in Denmark? Do you get on with the Danes?
Oh, the crazy Danes? Oh, no. Listen, Gordon, as it happens, I'm stashed up back there with the craziest bunch of Danes you could ever hope to meet. Why don't you come back, you know, join us?
Oh, I might do that. It sounds fun.
Wait a minute.
What?
This is first class.
Yeah.
What, was there some kind of foul up on the tickets or something?
No.
You mean you just plumped yourself there? They'll throw you off, you know.
No, John Downing's got me travelling first class nowadays.
I beg your pardon?
Well, it's just that, you know, well, it's nothing really.
Whoa. Hold up a second here. Hold up just 1 second. You're travelling first class? What? No, this is a mistake. Actually, there's a mistake here. This is a mistake, Gordon. I better get a stewardess.
Well, it's got nothing to do with her.
Oh, I better get the pilot then. You're right.
Look, Stuart, calm down. I mean, it's just that John Dowling likes his people to arrive good and fresh so as they can hit the ground running. It's no big deal.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm going to have to beg your pardon for just 1 moment here. This is a very big deal. So John Dowling doesn't care whether or not I hit the ground running, is that right?
Well, he probably thinks he'll hit the ground running anyway.
Of course I'll hit the ground running. Always have, haven't I?
Exactly. You're a legend. Stuart Marsh is one of the legendary ground hitters while running.
This can't be right.
What?
Me being stuck back there with that bunch of lager-swilling Danish no-hopers. It's Kathy. It's Kathy again. She's fouled up on the arrangement.
Oh, you've still got Kathy with you. She's a nice girl.
She's dead meat.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
I don't... I know. Oh.
What?
John Dowling. John Dowling knows I can't sit in front of the engines. We're sitting in front of the engines here, aren't we?
Yes, I suppose we are.
Oh, what a sweet, sweet man. What a sweet, sweet, considerate man John is. He knows that his #1 troubleshooter can't sit forward of the engines, so what does he do? Somehow pulls some strings, gets me a seat right at the back. What a sweet man.
Oh, I see.
I get nauseous, you see. If I sit forward of the engines, I get nauseous. John knows that, none better. I mean, he can't afford to have me arriving in Tokyo feeling nauseous, can he?
Well, he wouldn't want you to hit the ground puking, certainly.
So, Gordon, if you start feeling nauseous yourself, why not come back? Join us.
No, I'm fine, actually. They're about to serve dinner. I'll stick here.
Oh, it started now. Oh, I'm feeling nauseous already. Oh, my word. You're going to stick it out, are you, Gordon? You're a brave man, I tell you. Listen, if you see John, give him my love, won't you? Oh, you're a brave man, I must say that. What a sweet, sweet guy John Dowling is. Oh.
I'll have the caviar and smoked salmon and the filet mignon, I think.
Of course, you realise you're much more likely to die in a crash if you're sitting up in front, do you? Just thought I'd mention it.
Lufthansa Flight 17 touches down on British soil. 2 hours ago, the band and I were on the sunny streets of Düsseldorf. Now, through the miracle of flight, we are transported into the beguiling wonderworld of UK. The James Last Orchestra has arrived. Gateway to Heathrow. What a joy it is to be in this quaint old British airport with all its misleading signs. I love to rearrange things, and as I look around, this whole place could do with rearranging and packaging for the international jet setter. But we are here to make snappy tunes and happy music bring joy to all the world. Soon the baggage will be arriving, and hello, the band go mad with joy as the instruments come clattering through the old plastic curtains. Oh, the luggage has arrived. Last and very least, the international James Last go-go dancers will travel first-class cargo. 1, 2, 3, end. Welcome aboard the James Last bus to central London. Our travelling time will be approximately 48 minutes and 14 seconds. In accordance with international law, I will ask you all not to leave the bus while we are travelling. For your in-bus entertainment, I'll be showing up-to-the-minute snappy videos of the countryside outside the window. So it's down with the blinds, off with the lights. Let's see what's happening outside. We don't have it on the Autobahn, we're all rushing along 500 miles an hour, but here it's all tailbacks, traffic cones. Go through the amber, Fritz. 1 o'clock in London, which with the time difference means it's 1 o'clock in Bonn. Time for the lunchtime news via satellite from Germany. Let's see what's shaking in the fatherland.
Guten Tag. Heute hat der James Last Orchestra nach London ausgeflügt. James Last, der Numero Uno Nonstop-König von Partymusik, hat einen Schwanz wie ein Esel. In London ist großer Skandal mit Prinzessin Michael von Kent in Romanz mit James Last.
Well, no news is good news, so let's settle back and enjoy the scenery. Fresh air is a wonderful invention, and in Britain there is still a little bit of it about. Most of it outside. So off I pop into the park to get myself a little dose of oxygen. I like to go wandering along the Serpentine. Though it isn't half as good as marching on the Rhine. Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. another snappy song which I have rearranged and packaged. Kids are the same all over the world. Why? Look at that little rascal. He could have stepped right out of the pages of a Dickens novel. Why, hello there, Kiddywink. And where do you come from?
Ich bin from Düsseldorf. Hello.
Oh, you speak a little German too. First class. Shows a get-up-and-go attitude. Kids, what a joy. And about 38% of the market. Not bad, huh? I was brought up on classical music, but at an early age I think, why they bother with all these long movements? Why not just stick to these snappy melodies? So eat your heart out, Andrew Lloyd Webber. I was snaffling hits away from the classics when you were still in hot pants. Whenever I see a duck floating on the water, I thank the Lord that I was not born a duck. What a way to spend the day. Bobbing around with this awful cold water all lapping around your backside. But of course, if I was a duck, I would probably see things differently. Let's have a look at me from the duck's point of view. That's what I look like to him. Because ducks can only see in orange. Quite a snazzy effect, Nickvar. Which reminds me, it's time to pop along to Savile Row to get me some snappy handmade suits. As we glide through the dingy streets, I'm overwhelmed by a feeling of gratitude to this clapped-out old country. It has given me so much. For example, the Beatles. So I used to hang around, wait till I heard some snappy song, and then I phone up Hamburg, hum it to my orchestra, and 10 minutes later they phone me back with the master tape. I was releasing Beatles LPs long before they even finished recording. Savile Row, Mecca for the natty dresser. Here, lords of the manor rub shoulders with the international jet-setter. Old Mr. Wilkinson of Dingbat and Croucher is a stickler for tradition. He is always after the traditional elegance of the British. So when I told him I wanted suits in bold primary colors, whose jackets shouted, "I love you," and whose trousers whispered, "Hold me tight," his face went ashen. Then I added that I wanted a special pocket for my baton on the inside leg, or the color drained from his face. But when I mentioned that I wanted 100 suits, cash in hand, no questions asked, he was all over me like a swarm of flies. As you can see, Wilkinson has come up trumps. What a natty piece of schmudder, and away we go back onto the calm of the coach. I've always been fascinated by the awesome mysteries of the deep. Water, that endless conundrum. Without it we perish, but with it on top of us we're also in big trouble. Water which covers 3/4 of the world. Water, my daily inspiration, but also my deadly foe. 7/10 of the human body consists of water. So it could be argued that water has bought over 800 million James Last records. Water, I salute you.
You've just been watching James Last Britain. After the break, James Last Poland, James Last Czechoslovakia, and of course, tomorrow, the world.
Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to do a little bit of topical stuff, time to talk politics. It's got to be done. Someone's got to do it. Can we stop destroying the set in the corner of the room, please? Lovely professional show. Just find a chair, sit down, I'll plug it in later, all right, mate? Yeah, did that one in a warm-up, which is why I don't get a laugh. Nice, okay. That's a casual approach. Let's have a bit of honesty. Got a leotard on underneath. I'm cool. Let's mime the set. Anyway, talking about the budget. What a fabulous budget, eh? All the commentators saying an intelligent budget, a thoughtful budget, a clever budget. Brilliant, eh? We've got 4 million unemployed. What have they done? Put the price of fags up. I mean, that'll solve it, won't it? That'll sort everything out, you know. If you're a family with 2 children, you're 8 pence a week better off, you know. It's really crucial stuff, isn't it? You know. But I know why they're taxing fags. Oh, yeah. Right, I've only got 6 minutes.
I know why they're taxing fags. That's very clever, taxing fags, because you only smoke when you're tense and nervous, and the longer this government stays in, the more tense and nervous we will get. When the Russians come up with a proposal that eventually we should see an end to all nuclear weapons, what does Sir Geoffrey Howe call it? Warmongering. Brilliant. Now, I don't know whether the Russians are liars or not. Perhaps they are liars. But you sure as hell not going to find out with your head down the back of Ronald Reagan's trousers, are you? Fair enough. Have a bit of honesty. Yeah. Shout to the people. Revolution. We're really doing it on London Weekend tonight, aren't we? Anyway, smoking's a serious problem. It's not easy. I'm addicted. A lot of people are addicted. I'm trying to crack it. A mate of mine's unemployed, and also he's addicted to cigarettes, and the two are not compatible. At $1.50 a packet, you can't do both. So he thought he'd kill two birds with one stone, got himself a job as a dog in an animal testing laboratory. Brilliant! All the fags he wanted. Of course, you know, it wasn't much fun when he bolted the electrode to his skull and injected his ghoulies full of cancer, you know, but he was 800 fags a day. Coupon brand. He was saving up for a fiesta if his lungs held out. So he's in there one day having a few fags, you know, well, having about 15 fags, you know, politely asking his new friend, the miniature poodle, to get its nose out of his backside. Because they're very forward like that, aren't they, dogs? They're very forward. They've got no conception of the early stages of a relationship, have they, eh, dogs? None of that get to know you period we all love, eh? Hello, my name's Ben, I'm into Dire Straits, would you like a coffee? None of that, it's hello, poodle, wallop, up goes the See, I'm not a great fan of dogs. Obviously, I don't approve of cruel experiments, but I'm not a big fan of dogs, as I said the other week, because the dog led to my arrest, actually. I was a lot of heavy laws going down, and we should stop them, but one law was particularly unpleasant. I was arrested in Hyde Park for a crime of revenge. I was smearing my crap on a dog's paws. Yes, very rude, but worth talking about. It's unpleasant and unhygienic. I will carry on my campaign. It is a true fact that every time God makes a new pair of shoes, he makes a dog on a high-fibre diet. And the more expensive your shoes are, your lovely shoes, the bigger and the wetter the jobby that awaits them. Oh, yeah, dogs are very discerning creatures, you know. You're comparatively safe in flip-flops. I don't want to do it on any old rubbish, I tell you, but nothing opens a dog's bottom faster than a pair of hand-stitched Gucci's, believe me. I was motivating along, digging my reflection in the shop windows, thinking, you juicy basket, eh? You lucky sardine, you shoes, feeling very groovy, feeling sexy, having a little fantasy to myself. Oh, no, not all four Nolan sisters at once, please, please. And I meet the one with my name on it. It hadn't even been born yet. It was still inside its donor dog. Because right in front of me was this little 2-inch long ball of fluff, right, a Pekingese, the John Selwyn Gummer of the animal kingdom. The canine version of a Sony Walkman, eh? Very small, but they make a lot of noise. And he was going, yap, 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 yap. And his name was Yappy. I knew his name was Yappy because he had a lovely little collar on. It said, this dog's name is Yappy. If this dog should dare to roam, run it over because we bloody hate it. Easies. Nobody likes them. Little, small, noisy dogs. Nobody likes them. We all hate them. Where do they come from? They just seem to sort of emerge out of rich old ladies' armpits, don't they? They just seem to sort of grow out of their fur coats. A little monkey face going, yap, yap, yap. Give me some more sweets, eh? Yap, yap, yap. Give me some more cake. Pamper me or I'll run away and then you'll be sad because I'm your only friend, aren't I, you lonely old cow? Evil dogs. But it's not their fault. They were bred. They are mutations. 2,000 years ago in China, some dildo decided to cross a wolf with a gerbil. And the results were the first Pekingese, eh? Imagine what life was like for that one, eh? You know, out he pops and there's Mum, some great big butch Chinese she-wolf. Hadn't even noticed when Jeremy Gerbil had done the business 3 months before. Says, hello, Mum, what the hell are you? I'm your child. And therefore, if you're embarrassing me. There was no can of Mr. Dog, the food for the small dog for the first yappy. He had to hunt with the pack. Have you ever seen a gerbil trying to bring down an antelope? So there was 2,000 years of resentment welling up inside a yappy, and that wasn't all that was welling up, because he'd had a bowl of all brand that morning. Because he laid the biggest and most extensive jobby I have ever seen in my life, right where I wanted to go. I've said that Pekingeses are small dogs, but they're a strange breed. They've got bodies like TARDISes. They're bigger on the inside. And there it was, believe me, enormous. Picture it, it blocked out the sun. There was snow on the peak. Charles and Di were taking a well-earned winter break on its lower stuff. So I'm a bit down on dogs, but I don't believe in experiments, and the anti-vivisectionists liberated my mate, the one I was telling you about. There he was, having a few fags, suddenly he's liberated. All the anti-vivs showing all the beagles in the sack saying, we're liberating you. The beagles saying, you might have unbolted the ectode first, mate. Again, my mate, all the beagles are desperately having a last fag before they leave. He says, look, this is a naive protest. We're never going to readjust, which in his case is true. He's standing there stark naked, carcinogenic coolies and a poodle up his bum. He's not going to blend in, is he, you know? Anyway, smoking's a big problem and you watch out for it. Maybe we should all stop smoking and then the Chancellor wouldn't make any money out of it, would he? He'd have to do something else to make the money, like maybe sell a few cruise missiles. Now, I know what they do. They just tax something non-essential, like wheelchairs and baby food, wouldn't they, eh? Thanks a lot. Bit of politics. My name's Ben Elton. Good night!
Ben Elton, a fine, snappy young comic. He reminds me of the young Max Bygraves. Should go far. Next week's the host is Stephen Wright. Not the old Radio 1 DJ, but the wonderful American snappy comedian. So give him a big welcome. And now is non-stop party time with James Last, Sex Machine Music. Coming to us. Let's start on Una Paloma Blanca. Fill up the lager. Have a good time. Everybody gets on. I want everyone to come on in that. Dance with me. Come on, get in here. Have a good time. Everybody have a good time. All down. Bring out. Bring up the lager. Oh, Una Paloma Blanca. Let's have a big dance. Everyone, one minute. Drink. No lager. There's the lager. Why do you have the lager? Because I have no idea to drink so much. I've been in the country. All together now. Gives me some nasty happy people, that's what makes me happy. Down with the lager. Off with the panties. Let's get down to non-stop sex.